And hello and a good morning to everyone. Special blog video post here going on. Basically, it's a continuation from yesterday's blog video post. And basically, this one will be covering the rest of the day that happened yesterday, my transition from level 62 that you saw in yesterday's post to 63. And you're going to be seeing a lot of that experience gaining, honestly, right here in the first few minutes of this video. And right now what I'm doing is I'm doing another quest. Again, we picked up right where we left off, doing a quest just outside of those bird people quests that I picked up. And these are for the Ravagers, and basically very easy quest. The Ravagers aren't really that hard. Even their little friends aren't that hard either. You shouldn't have a problem with them. Also, it's nice to note that they are very skinnable. And for you hunters out there, you've probably seen some hunters with these pets. These are Ravagers, and they're very tameable as well. They make good, I believe, DPS pets, comparable to any of the dogs or cats and things like that out there. I didn't have any trouble with them at all. I had this done within, probably 10-15 minutes. And you're seeing a majority of this video here. And then you're going to see me turning in a ton of quests. And I like this strategy of the way I do it. Go around, do as many quests as I can, and then go turn them in. In this case, you can see the benefits here. I mean, I did level before I turned in any real quests. Oh, got a little close to that Fell Reaver there. That's not good. And I actually leveled, and you'll see here as I'm going to turn in the quest now, as we flipped ahead, as I start turning in all these quests, you're going to see my experience bar shoot up quite a bit just from turning in all the quests I finished and leveled up. And by the time I'm done, I believe it's over 25% down there. And that's kind of how I leveled up so fast yesterday, even with all the pauses and breaks and everything for the video blog. So now what we're mainly seeing here is me going around turning in these quests, and also I will be doing a quest just to the right hand side of the temple there that I almost missed. And the reason I went ahead and just did that is because it was real close by, real easy, and it did lead to another quest that we'll do later on. Now, after I pretty much did these quests, we are going to skip ahead, because after this I was pretty much I flew back to Shat, took the port back to Stormwind, did training, did a whole bunch of auction house stuff. So I'm going to skip all that so we can get right back to the nitty gritty of what happened here. It was a really good day yesterday, just the entire leveling portion. Again, this is still pretty early in the day yesterday. And then I finished off last night hitting 63 by doing ramps and furnace, and of course you'll see that in the last parts of these videos. So again, you can expect at least one this blog post, obviously, and possibly one tomorrow as well. See, I'm seeing where I missed a quest, and so I'm going to hop off here by the flight, because it's just right over around here. So I hop off, and I have to kill this Hellboar, and then the Fell Reaver gets awful close, so I kind of back off a bit. And then also, especially after this quest and all these quest turn-ins, before the end of this part of the video, we'll start showing one of the areas I skipped in the last video, which was the Ooze quest, as my loving fiance likes to call it. And I'll explain a little bit about that. And basically I'm doing the second portion of that quest with, I believe it's a vial of some sort, to try and purify it, and you have to attack. You basically use it near the major big bones there that are corrupting it, and then you have to kill something, and then you move on. I keep checking back behind me to watch that Fell Reaver, see what he's up to. Wasn't sure if I was supposed to use him or not, but apparently not. Actually, it'll be a couple quests. There's one more quest after this one, and that one we'll cover. And that was the quest after this was basically a continuation of this quest I just turned in. And basically, he wants revenge for what they did to the chick you found, and so he wants you to kill some horde NPCs, or basically. The good news is they are not PvP enabled, but apparently they are very horde, because a horde undead death knight comes by and kind of taunts me and everything about what I'm doing. I don't know if I was sending their local defense chat crazy with it or whatever, but they are definitely not PvP enabled, and so we're skipping to the start of that now here. So honestly, this quest isn't hard. Like I said, again, these guys are very, very easy to deal with, especially at this level. I think the worst thing about this quest is the drop rate is actually quite horrid. It took me a good 30 minutes to almost, or about an hour at the most, I'd say, to finish this quest, just because of the blasted drop rate. It just would not drop the 10 I needed, and it doesn't do it in any short order. The good news is that there's plenty to kill there. They're not that hard, and they respawn pretty darn fast. So as you go to one group area and you kill all them and you move on to the next, good chance by the time you're done killing that second group, your first group that you killed will be all respawned. So there is that. So thankfully, I just pretty much went up there, killed some, as you can see, and moved on to groups nearest to me. The hunters are interesting. Probably not like other hunters you've seen. They'll actually net you and back off to fire and keep your pet on them. They have like a little crab pet. It's pretty simple. Not a big deal. But so it's not that hard at all. So let's see. Yeah, just continue attacking these guys here. Again, they're real easy, real simple. Not gonna have much problem with them. If any horde show up, PvP enabled or not, ignore them. They can attack you. These guys are not PvP enabled, any of these guys that I saw. So you will be just fine. And just before we jump ahead again, coming up here to the upper area, and you can see the hunter here. I want to show him. See how he netted me and then ran away and then shot? So that's something to look out for if you are melee class. He does like to do that. His crab really is not a threat at all. It really isn't. And there's that undead death knight giving me crap. But as you can see, it goes down pretty easy. Just be aware that he likes to do that. So if you are melee, especially, you might want to be on the lookout for that. So we go ahead and jump ahead here after getting all done with that. It took forever just because of the drops. It was such a pain. No big deal. Once that was done, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next quest. And again, this is the quest I was talking about earlier, about the area that I skipped in the last video, because I knew I would get to it here for the second half of the quest. And honestly, the reason I waited this long to do that second half is that I honestly didn't realize I had it until I had looked. Well, just before when I was turning in all those quests, I looked at it and I was like, oh crap. And I realized that I missed it. So when I come back, you can see these oozes here, and honestly, they like to put curses on you a lot, and they are DOT curses, so be aware of that. And there always is two little oozes with them. You can see me just running through here to get away from them, because I've already dealt with them and I don't want to kill them. Killing the oozes is actually quite easy. There's a lot of them to kill. You'll have to kill, I believe, like 10 or so. Excuse me, and then you'll need to kill about 6 or 7 of these guys. These guys aren't that hard. Their little cone spread there does hurt. They have a little bit of a pushback, as you can see there, which is more of an annoyance than everything. So just make sure when you get ready to attack them, you got your back turned somewhere where you don't get ads if you're not looking to do that. Otherwise, they'll go down real easy and piece of cake. And well, I'm approaching the next one here, and you can see the bones in the background, and that's where this quest that we're going to be doing here in just in the next part will be taking place. So that's it for part 1 here. In part 2, we'll head on to the rest of this quest here and get back to some more little leveling goodness. There's a lot of back and forth going on. We'll be going more in the south part other than the temples. So Make sure you tune in for that, and see you in the next part.